What comes to mind when you think of popular culture? Movies? Video games? TV shows? What about war, technology, and crime? Popular culture is always influenced by real life. This includes everything from politics and technology to people's struggles and fears. That's what makes popular culture feel real and relevant, how it connects with our lives and experiences. Today, we'll look at some examples of how 1970s popular culture reflected changes in American society. As you watch, look for the changes that helped shape 1970s pop culture. Ready? Let's get started.
A few days ago, in Grandma's attic. It is a Sunday afternoon. Geordie is spending the summer with his grandma. As Geordie reads on the living room sofa, he hears a ruckus coming from the attic upstairs. Curious, he decides to investigate.
Hey, Grandma. What you doing?
Well, I'm finally getting around to sorting through some of this old stuff. Everything I'm getting rid of is going in that box over there. Go see if there's anything you like.
Is this you in a Princess Leia costume? Were you a Star Wars fan?
Of course. This was taken at a Halloween party. I was so excited to dress up as an action hero. There weren't a lot of female lead characters in action in sci-fi movies when I was a kid, but things were changing. The women's liberation movement in the 60s and 70s shifted people's perceptions of women, which impacted popular culture. For example, there were more women in leading roles, even in action and sci-fi movies.
When Star Wars debuted in 1977, one of the main characters, Princess Leia, emerged as a feminist and a women's rights icon because she defied many traditional gender stereotypes. Not only was she a political leader and a diplomat, but her character was witty, brave, and unafraid to speak her mind. Princess Leia became a cultural icon that represented a new kind of female character, a strong, independent, and capable leader. Today, she remains a symbol of women's rights and the feminist movement.
My history teacher told us Star Wars was also influenced by the Vietnam War.
Really?
Yeah, George Lucas said so in an interview.
In a 2018 interview, Star Wars writer and director George Lucas confirmed that his film was influenced by the war and his own opposition to the United States action in Vietnam.
So, in the movie, the Galactic Empire wants to take over the entire galaxy. So they build up this massive military force and create the Death Star, a super weapon capable of wiping out entire planets. The rebels, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, and Princess Leia, and the rest of them, are trying to prevent the Empire from taking control of the galaxy. But the rebels are less organized and have to fight the Empire with whatever weapons and tools they can find. And even though the Empire is much stronger and more powerful, the rebels are able to prevent the Empire from achieving its goal.
In the interview, George Lucas said the Empire represented the United States. Just like the Empire's Death Star, the United States had ultra-powerful weapons, nuclear weapons. He also confirmed that the rebels were based on the Viet Cong, who fought off the US Empire with improvised weapons and guerrilla warfare. Like the movie's rebels, the Viet Cong was still able to prevent the US from achieving its goals in Vietnam. The original Star Wars was influenced by real-world changes and events, like the Vietnam War and women's liberation movement. Today, Star Wars continues to reflect current events and trends, helping it remain culturally significant decades later. Pause here to complete this section of the guided notes in your lesson PDF. People have played games for thousands of years. Some, like chess, haven't changed much over the centuries. But over time, new technologies have transformed gaming into a major industry. In the 1940s, 50s, and 60s, researchers and university students developed an entirely new type of game, computer games. However, at the time, computers were almost exclusively found in research labs, government offices, and universities, so most people had no way to play these games. But what did people have? Televisions. By 1970, over 95% of American households had at least one television. This opened up a new pathway for gaming: home gaming consoles. When connected to a display like a television, they allowed people to play digital games in their own homes.
What's this?
Oh, my old Atari.
Your what?
It's for playing video games.
You played video games?
Though not the first home gaming console, the Atari 2600 became widely popular. Its success proved that home video gaming could be a successful, profitable industry. Today, that probably sounds obvious, but in the 1970s, it was revolutionary.
What games did you play?
Well, games in the 70s were certainly a lot simpler than what you're used to playing today. Games like Pong and Space Invaders were two-dimensional, so you moved up and down, left and right. At the time, it was unlike anything we'd ever played before.
For more than half a century, constant innovations have helped video gaming remain one of the most popular and profitable forms of entertainment in the United States. Pause here to complete this section of the guided notes in your lesson PDF. Another change that rocked the United States in the 70s was an increase in violent crime, including a spike in the number of serial killers or people who commit a series of murders, often without a clear motive. The public wanted answers. Why was this happening? Who was going to stop it? Unfortunately, there were no real answers, but the media jumped at the chance to provide the public with theories. In doing so, the media helped propel true crime to the forefront of popular culture.
Hey, why do you have so many news articles about the Zodiac Killer?
That was a big story. It was all over the news.
In the 70s, television news increasingly used flashy graphics, dramatic music, and exaggerated reporting to keep audiences invested and entertained. This reporting was nicknamed infotainment, which combines information reporting and entertainment. The media reported directly from crime scenes and interviewed neighbors, friends, and family. They also hosted panels of so-called experts, everyone from psychologists to former FBI agents to psychics, to discuss cases.
The news made us feel like we were part of the investigation. You didn't want to miss anything, so you kept tuning in to watch. We were, of course, terrified. We thought having more information might keep us safer, but I think it also made us more paranoid.
People's fascination with true crime is nothing new. But in the 1970s, by focusing on engaging and attracting audiences, the media helped turn true crime into a form of entertainment. This meant that accuracy and objectivity were often sacrificed in favor of providing shocking information, even if it wasn't necessarily true. Many also criticized the media's focus on serial killers. Critics argued the media was exploiting victims for entertainment while also giving the criminals constant attention and making them household names. Pause here to complete this section of the guided notes in your lesson PDF.
I had no idea my grandma was a sci-fi geek, gamer, and true crime fan. What do you think about taking a break?
Great idea. And I think I know what we should do.
Popular culture has always been shaped by the changes and challenges people face in real life. Think about popular culture today. Has your favorite band or artist been influenced by current events? What about your favorite movie? In the PDF, you'll explore how popular culture today connects to larger challenges and changes. You may be surprised by what you find. Until next time, keep making history.
Hey, hey.